I want to thank everybody for joining us today. This is something new that we are doing. We have so many new volunteers joining us over the next uh, year, honestly. So I have put together a little bit of an orientation for our new volunteers so that you have a better idea of honestly what you've gotten yourself into or what your friends have gotten you into. Um, so with that, um, if you will take questions at the end, but if at any point you're confused or you have a question, feel free to use the pop-up question thingamabobbers at the bottom of your Zoom, and I'm happy to pop in. So today you're going to meet the RISE team, learn a little bit more about what we do. You're going to understand the heck it is that you're volunteering for and how you're going to be really great at it. You're going to better understand the logistics of the event. We're going to go over some of the really important rules that are set in place to make the day a good one. And then I didn't get these put into the slideshow, but I will be emailing you yet again with some volunteer waivers, some photography releases, and a food preference form. So that's what we're going to accomplish today. This is me. Hello. A lot of you have been emailing me and not at all knowing who I am. And so this is a temporary spot for me. We actually have a volunteer relations manager, but she is out on a temporary leave taking care of her elderly father. So you get the bliss of working with me instead for the time being. So we don't know how long she will be out, so you will either keep seeing me or we will pass it on to her when that time is right. So I just thought I would keep that in mind. So you are going into the reception and treatment center. That is often referred to as RTC. And in that facility, we have the good old Dr. Tommy Moore. He is who is teaching the RISE class in that facility. So you will be seeing him, but you'll also be hearing from him a lot. He is a loud guy, so you'll know him when you see him. He's fantastic. He is very well respected. He has lived experience himself, and we're just delighted to have him facilitating our cohort. Many of you know Jeremy Bowman already. He is our CEO, and he's going to be emceeing the event. He will also be delivering dad jokes. He'll also kind of be guiding you through the entire day. We have Caitlin Finn, who is our incredible event manager. She makes sure that our event stays on time. You'll be seeing her with a stopwatch for most of the day. She gets our food and panels organized. So she's a busy, busy person on event day. We have Sarah Bartolome, who is also on this call. She's our chief of staff, and she's going to be helping with the volunteers in the lobby when you arrive. And if you have any questions throughout the day, look for her and she can guide you along. We also have Andrea Wright, who is not on this call, but she is the director of our in-prison program. She's also a wonderful person to tap on the shoulder if you have questions or you're confused throughout the event. Me again, I document all of our events, so I'll be the photographer. So you will not see me when you enter the prison, but I will have a camera in my face when you enter the event space. So I'll say hello, but otherwise you can just kind of ignore me for the rest of the day. So you are participating in a business pitch competition and graduation. It's on Friday, March 28th from 8 a.m. to 3 p.m. And it is at the Reception and Treatment Center. What is RISE? RISE is a nonprofit, and we empower people to return to the community after they've been in prison. We have in-prison programming, we have reentry and employment services once people have been released. We have family programming and entrepreneurship programming, and we also do policy and advocacy work. So if RISE is new to you, this is a little brief snippet of what we do. And our mission is to break the generational cycles of incarceration. The why is for many reasons, and the why is different for many people, but Nebraska is actually the most overcrowded prison system in the country. I can't say we have nothing to do with it. The Nebraska facilities are operating at 147% capacity. So people are, they're stacked in there like sardines. The staffing shortages are a significant challenge with the Department of Corrections. Nearly 1 in 3 people return to prison after 3 years of release. It costs over $46,000 to incarcerate one person for 1 year, and that is at the taxpayer's expense. 89% of people that reoffend do not have a job at the time of their release, and while jobs aren't the silver bullet to success, it is definitely a significant factor in that. And also, 1 in 10 children in Nebraska have or have had a parent in prison or jail. And I think that's a very interesting fact myself. So, what is the RISE Business Pitch Competition and Graduation? And essentially, it's Shark Tank. So, you get to channel your Mark Cuban and Damon John and Lori Greiner. So, this is, it's game time. Let's do this. So we have, I do believe, 21 or 22 participants in this cohort. They applied for this class in September of 2024, and that application process is pretty extensive. The last that I knew, that application was roughly 30 to 40 pages. And they need to be accepted to be in the class. They have to be ready to do the inside work. They have to be ready to go through this process because it is extensive. So everybody that is in the room is ready and willing to be there. In January, our staff and a few volunteers went into the prison facility to do a coaching day. We did some mock interviews with them. We went over personal statements. We started reviewing the business ideas that they are or wanted to pitch to you this coming graduation. So we also had volunteers do business research for them online. So January through February, they've been working on their business plans and their business pitches. In February, our staff went in and did a deep dive with them on their current business plans and to start helping them hone in on their pitches. So in March, on the 28th, they will be pitching their businesses and will be graduating. And in order for our participants to graduate, they must pitch. So where they are now, this competition is the capstone event for our participants. Even though this part is all about entrepreneurship, it's also not even remotely close to about entrepreneurship. Many of our participants have started businesses in the community once they have been released, but also a significant amount of them won't. This business pitch and this whole class is all about showcasing their learning and their confidence. It's all about the entrepreneurial mindset, really thinking critically around a problem, how to ask for help, how to receive feedback, how to take feedback. And it's all about having people in a safe community where they can get reps doing this. That's the most important part. When they are preparing to return home and when they return home, they're going to have to talk to a lot of people face to face and giving people the reps of doing that with safe strangers is really, really important. So your role as a volunteer judge, you're going to see a lot of Shark Tank references from me, and I'm not going to apologize for it. So you're going to hear a lot of really cool ideas. You're going to hear business pitches about bakeries, moving companies, cosmetics for people living incarcerated. Like I said, we've got 22-ish participants. So you're going to be hearing a lot of really, really cool ideas. And you're gonna be the judge of those. You will do, I think, a quarterfinals round, two semifinal rounds, and then a final round. So you're going to be hearing a lot of business pitches. You're going to be giving feedback. You're going to be asking questions, and you get to decide on who gets to move forward. And you're also going to hear and hopefully get to know a lot about the participants that we work with. We talk a lot about their why and why they want to pitch the businesses that they are. And you're going to learn just a lot about them and what's important to them. So you get to have the privilege of receiving their story as well, which is my favorite part. So your role is to listen to the pitches and ask thoughtful questions. You're going to be on a panel with roughly 5 other volunteers. Some of them are new, some of them are longtime volunteers, and some of them are staff. You're in really, really, really good hands. You're also probably going to have what we call peer facilitators in on those panels as well. They're graduates from a previous class, and they've been helping this cohort learn and do some mentoring with them. You're also going to be providing constructive feedback using our criteria. We have set up a whole criteria sheet that you're going to receive for every business pitch that you hear. Based off of this criteria, you're going to be scoring points, and we'll total those points up. Those points get distributed to our event team, and then we tally them up, and that is who decides who gets to move on in the competition. You're going to score on clarity, feasibility, leadership, and scalability. Again, we're going to provide you all of those things, so the guesswork should be minimal. You just get to really listen and provide your feedback with those. So this is what your evaluation form is going to look like. You're going to see on here builder. Builder is what internally we refer to our participants as. So if at any point throughout the day you hear somebody say builder or call the participants builder, they're not actually construction workers, and they might build homes and whatnot, but they are building their new lives. So we work with people, but we refer to them as builders. On the criteria, you're going to have pitch requirements. They have to make an ask in order to move forward in the business pitch competition. If they do not make an ask, they unfortunately will not move on to the next round. They did a great job, but they have to make an ask. This is very representative of asking for help in the community. We want people to ask when they're uncomfortable and when it's going great and when it's not. So we require them to make an ask. We would like the participant to have their business feasible within $20,000 of startup funds. So that is that. Does it pass the RISE newspaper test is what we call it. A good example would be a RISE graduate launches a new bakery in Lincoln. A bad example, despite laws, would be RISE graduate launches cannabis dispensary. I think you probably understand where we're going with this. I I do believe all of the businesses have been vetted for this, so it shouldn't be a problem, but I do want to acknowledge it. We want to make sure that the participants are solving a problem with their business or have a really great reasoning behind their business. And are they prepared, clear? Do they show leadership skills and coachability? I earlier mentioned peer facilitators. Like I said, these are applied for positions and they are people still living inside the facility but have graduated from the program. They help teach the class and they help do mentorship, and it's kind of a coveted position, so they're very special to us. So they're also fantastic people to ask if you have a question. They've been through it, they've been teaching it, and you will meet them during the event, so look out for them as well. Above all else, these are some really important things to remember when you are listening to the pitches and filling out your criteria. Just like you and I, we all have different personalities and identities. We have different education levels. Some have graduated from high school, some have gotten their GEDs, some have PhDs. Everybody's education levels are different, so just be really mindful of that. We also have different life experiences. Uh, there's some hard stuff that has happened with the people that we work with. So, there's trauma involved and there's mental illness and different abilities. And I just think that we should all be cognizant and aware and kind in regards to that. And we also might not have English as our first language. We're a diverse group, so please keep that in mind. And we also have different levels of comfort with speaking in public. I know that if I had to share a business pitch multiple times with a bunch of strangers, can't say I would do so hot. So just be cognizant of that as well. So these are some of our friends. I'm also sharing only images that have been used inside the space so that you're familiar with it when you get there. You'll notice that they've added a very fancy turquoise wall to give the prison visiting room some zhuzh. Okay, logistics, Friday, March 28th. Don't arrive any earlier than 7:50 a.m. I am an anxious early arriver. However, in the Department of Corrections, that's a burden. So don't arrive any earlier than 7:50 and don't arrive any later than 8 a.m. Uh, you'll get into the event space. We serve you lunch. Lunch is served at 12:20. Right before lunch, we will welcome in our participants' loved ones, their family members, kids, whoever they have included on their guest list. So you will get to eat amongst them, which is very fun and special. And then we end at 3:30, which should be pretty prompt. Caitlin added in here, if you do arrive earlier, that's totally fine. Just hang out in your car until it's 7:50. I emailed you and I told you that I operate out of my anxiety, and that is going to surely shine through right now. I want everybody to know there's a parking lot, and this is where it is. You can park anywhere where there is a sign that either says visitor or there's no sign. If you choose to be the Nebraska Department of Corrections Employee of the Month, I say fire away. But there is a whole parking lot for you. There is an intimidating amount of barbed wire, but you're okay and you're safe. And when you get there, it's just going to be, honestly, if you've never been in this setting, it can be intimidating. So you're going to enter in where I've circled here. Now this door with the prison, one door can open and then it must close before the other door opens in everything. So just keep that in mind. So when you arrive, the doors will be closed. If you see people getting into the gate, you can scurry on in there and get there. But if the door's closed, there is this call button here. All you do is push that button. You don't have to say anything. An Australian voice, for some reason, will tell you that the door will open soon. So once you've pushed the button, you just have to hang out and wait until that first door opens. Then you'll go into the doors, and then the door will close behind you. And then eventually the second door will close and you'll enter. So, lobby rules and procedures. Once you walk into the space, it's very small. And it seems silly to tell a bunch of adults to be quiet, but with love, use your quiet inside voices. There's going to be a lot of people in that room, and we need to make sure that we're not overwhelming any further the security staff with the Department of Corrections. So just be quiet, hang out. Sarah and Maria are going to be the two RISE staff members that are going to be checking you in. So when you arrive, look for them, tell them your name if they don't know you, who you are, and they will check you off. And from there, you're going to be instructed to go to the front desk. You're going to give the front desk person your ID, state issued ID, or driver's license. Everybody must turn theirs in. And then they will give you a locker key. In that locker, you need to put all of your belongings. You're never going to be outside, so you don't need to bring your coat in. You're going to put chapstick, keys, wallet, phones, anything on your person needs to go into that locker. Anything that gets brought in will be considered contraband, and then you will then be risked at living in the facility and can have the opportunity to take RISE on a personal basis. So please, 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 don't bring anything in your pockets. We will have pens, we will have paper, we will have all of the things that you need. Come bare bones. Once you've put things in your locker, make sure everything is silent, even the alarms that you forget. Put those all away. If you can share a locker with somebody, great. That is ideal. And then you're going to sit and wait, and Maria and Sarah are going to walk you through the next steps of getting into the facility. It's basically like going through an airport. So you're going to see a Smith's detection. You're going to put your shoes, belts. I don't recommend wearing a belt. If you've got a pants situation, Godspeed. But place your shoes, belts, and your locker key, if you have one, in the scanner, and the security staff will scan it and then put it right next to the scanner on a counter. Don't go get it until they tell you it's okay. You will likely also go through a body scanner. Sometimes this happens, sometimes it doesn't, but I like to tell people to plan on it just in case. You will get up to the scanner, you'll give them your first and last name, you stand in it. I smile because I don't know what else to do. And they scan you. In an email, I'll send you the fact sheet about the scanning if you have questions about it. But I just want you to be aware that these are the things that will happen. You all will be pat searched, and it's quick and painless, and it is to ensure that we're safe, you're safe, our participants are safe, and that the staff there is safe. But I also know that this is normal for us and not normal for you. So if this is something that makes you anxious, again, I understand. You will be searched by somebody on the NDCS security staff, and they will be of the same gender. You're gonna go in a line. You'll go in one at a time. The room is private, but both doors are open, so you don't need to worry about that. You're going to stand spread eagle. They're going to gently pat you down under your armpits on both sides of your legs. They're going to check your waist area, your chest area. Women, please no underwire. Just recommend a sports bra or something similar. If you are wearing underwire, you are not allowed in the facility. They're also going to check the bottoms of your bare or socked feet. You'll lift up one leg and then the other, unless you can levitate. That's pretty sweet. You'll likely have to pull your pockets inside and out, and they will visually check underneath your tongue. Also, I'll get to this, but you need to have front pockets and back pockets. Once you go through the security, it should go pretty fast. It's go time. The dress code is actually a pretty big deal. Check my chat. Oh, and if you must wear undergarments, so if you wear an underwire, there will not be an option to just take it off and leave it in the car. So that would also be wild. So just keep that in mind. Okay, dress code. Do not wear watches of any kind, even if they're an old school non-smartwatch. No watches of any kind. No V-neck shirts. I'm wearing a button down. If I have this up on my top button, it will be okay, but make sure there's no gaping in your buttons. No V-necks, no skirts, skinny or ripped pants, nothing with a hood. Not even if it's a zip off that you can take off that has a hood, do not wear it. No high heels, no underwire, and lots of jewelry. Do not wear that. If you have a pair of earrings on that you always wear, not a big deal, or a necklace that you always wear, not a big deal, but keep it very, very simple. It's not a day to take risks. It's not a day to set trends. At the end of the day, this isn't Project Runway and my America's Next Top Model. We've seen some things, my friends, so just play it safe. Wear a good old pair of baggy dress pants and a t-shirt or a button down and a blazer, and you'll be just fine. Don't take risks. Do wear comfy closed. Make sure they are I'm buffering, closed toe shoes, and also make sure they have a heel. So if you have Crocs or some Birkenstock clogs, that's not the day for it. Make sure they have toes and heels. Tennis shoes, perfectly fine. A loafer, totally fine. You'll notice some examples down here. Business casual is great. If you want to wear jeans that are not skinny or ripped, great. Wear undergarments, please, on the tops and the bottoms. And that's pretty much it. If you are a panicker like me and you want to text me your outfit before you go the next day, by all means, I'm happy to help you. Some other tips and things that you should know. Do not forget your driver's license or your state ID. If you do not have it, you will not be let into the facility. We've seen it happen, and it's the worst. It makes us very sad. So please do not forget. Our participants' families, loved ones, and kiddos are coming. I think that's really important for you to know. It is a huge deal for our participants to have their loved ones there and for them to have strangers and staff see their loved ones. So I just like for for you to know that it's a huge honor that you get to be amongst them. This is a big one for me. If you have your own kiddos or in school, or you're the primary emergency contact for anyone, email the school or the hospital or whatever, and let them know that you will be unavailable for emergencies between certain hours, and give them an alternative contact. I did not do this once and came out to a massive emergency with my son at school, and it was a disaster. So now before I go into a facility, I always email the school and tell them so that they can contact my child's father instead. So it's a helpful thing for me. You're in the event space for the entire day, which means no smoking breaks. So I don't know if you need to put a patch on it or what you need to do for the day, but there are no smoking or vaping breaks. There is a restroom that you can access whenever you need it. All you have to do is let one of us staff members know, or a Department of Corrections staff. And it's actually a really nice bathroom, so you can use the restroom. Again, don't forget your driver's license or your state ID. I'm gonna bring that one home a million times more. There's no running in prison. I don't anticipate any need for you to run, but there is no running. Don't make promises. This is a huge one. When you are in a vulnerable state and you are grasping at hope straws, our participants will remember everything, including the promises you make. We want all of your promises to be made to rise. Promises could be potentials for a job when they get out, or contacting someone they know, or being able to actually help their business get launched. Don't make any promises. If you feel like you're in a position that puts you in that way, you won't be. But if you are, just let someone on our RISE staff know and we'll take care of it. So just don't make any promises. Handshakes and fist bumps are good, hugs are bad. You'll likely build really wonderful, friendly connections with people, and I want to hug everybody, but that is not allowed. So, handshakes and fist bumps, please. Photos will be taken by me. So I think it's good for you to keep that in mind after you are completed with your volunteering duties. In a few weeks after the event, I will be sharing photos with you for you to share, print, do whatever you want with. It's a nice memento for you, but also for our participants and their loved ones. And I do all documentary style, so just ignore me and they'll be fantastic. And then lastly, just have fun and celebrate the day with us. Like I said, you're going to be getting an email with more further details, but this is just kind of an overall that I want everybody to know, so they better know what they have gotten themselves into. And I'm very, very excited. And that's what I have. Does anybody have questions that I can answer for you?
Front and back pockets? I'm still pondering that.
Front and back
You
pockets.
have to have both.
Yes. Yes. It's
I'm mentally walking through my closet and sort of wondering about, yeah.
a lot of us here at Rise have what we call prison pants, and we wear them every single time because the rules are difficult, especially for female presenting people. So front and back pockets.
What about
Thank you.
perfume? Can you wear perfume?
Yeah, you can wear perfume. I wouldn't go nuts with it just because you're going to be in a space with a lot of people, but But sure, if you feel like you want to put a squirt of something on there, by all means, please do. Another tip that I have, it can be very dry, especially because it is Nebraska. The rooms are very dry. I lather on a ton of chapstick before I go into the facility. It's a big help for me. It's a necessity, actually, for me. So we'll also have water and coffee available. I will be sending you a email with a link that has a liability volunteer waiver for us. And then it also has a photo release for us. You also have to sign a photo release for the Nebraska Department of Corrections. They love sharing the work that is being done, and they can't do that unless you sign their release. So we're getting ahead of the game and I'm going to have you sign that. And then a food allergy and restrictions form. So if you are allergic to nuts, pineapple, whatever, let us know in that, and we will do our best to accommodate your dietary restrictions. What other questions do you have?
Yeah, I'm sure it's been a while. What's the ruling on medication?
Medication, yes. If you have medication in the actual prescription bottle or inhaler or whatever, just let me know and I will reach out to the facility and make sure that that can be accommodated for. Or if you need to go out to take medication, we can arrange for that as well. Good question. Anyone else? Questions, concerns, fears, anxieties? Cool. Well, if that's it, I'll give you 20 minutes back to your day and yeah, Sarah says we promise it's really a transformative experience, and I can attest to that. So it has certainly changed my life, and we have the most fantastic people, and it's a really great class. So I'm just really excited for you. So, all right. Well, be on the lookout for yet another email, and we'll be in touch with you soon.
Thanks, Mackenzie.
Thank
Thank you.
you. Have a
Thank
good
you.
day.
Everyone for being here.
Bye.